Anthony Slater here with Barry Tramel tonight in the Peak for another Thunder loss, but also another interesting game, maybe a historically bad offensive night. Rockets 69, Thunder 65. You have a lot of nuggets from this game as far as an offensive ineptitude. How bad was it?
Well, I mean, it's the worst offensive NBA game I've ever seen. I mean, nobody on the floor for either team shot over 40% individually. Both teams collectively shoot under 30%. Each is under 30%. The Rockets, the Thunder doesn't get over 19 in any quarter. The Rockets had a quarter with 9, and so just totally inept. Thunder stayed in the game with good defense, played tough defense, blocked 15 shots, really got after it. But their offense is so bad right now that they're just having trouble generating points.
Tough to watch from that perspective. If you like make shots, you like threes, you like that kind of thing. But from a drama perspective, I mean, anytime the Rockets come into this house now with Patrick Beverley as the point guard, with Dwight Howard as the center, Francisco Garcia on the court, Durant and Westbrook weren't even playing, but I mean, this is as heated as it's ever been. This is a good rivalry brewing.
Well, I'm not here to say who's the Thunder's best rival or chief rival, any of that. I can tell you who their most bitter rival is. They hate the Rockets the most. It's not the Grizzlies, not the Spurs, not whoever Ron Artest is playing for. It's the Rockets. Because you're right. They get into it every time. Patrick Beverley's in the middle of it a lot. Russell Westbrook's over there on the bench, and then Sebastian Telfair steps in for him to get into it with Patrick Beverley. So the Rockets go out and get Jason Terry, who's another public enemy of Thunder history. So just a lot of ill will, and never really got too physical in terms of after the play. But you were always on pins and needles wondering if there would be a powder explosion.
Interesting game, competitive game against a one-loss Rockets team. I believe they're 9-1 now, so another solid performance from obviously this depleted team. But big picture-wise, they're now 3-8 in a crowded Western Conference playoff picture. Obviously, it's so early, but are you worried about this hole they're kind of digging?
I think you have to be concerned about the hole. I mean, I thought they could get to 5-6 at this point, and they let one get away Friday night. Should have beaten the Pistons. Didn't win in Milwaukee. You got to win that kind of game. So another easy stretch coming up. The next 10 games are pretty easy. So if the Thunder's at 5-15 or even worse after 20, I think you got to sit there and say, is Durant and Westbrook going to be able to pull the Thunder out of this hole?
Now let's kick it to Coach Scott Brooks and some of the players and see what they had to say about tonight's game.
We're having trouble scoring. There's no question. But one thing I loved about tonight, other than last night, we took 28 free throws compared to 6. So that area of growth happened tonight. 19 threes instead of the 36 last game. We're gonna have to figure out ways to stay in games and score down the stretch, and it's the way it is right now. We have to. We want some consistent scorers off the bench. We're going to continue to find ways that we can maybe add another scoring set or two. But we just have to continue to execute and get good shots.
The team, two opponents are good. Have a tendency to butt heads, tendency not to like each other. Chasing the same goal. I don't know if people still believe we are, but we still feel like we're chasing the same goal. I'm sure they feel like we're in the way, and we feel like they're in the way. So we're probably going to have to square off at some point. It's always going to be a feisty battle. Both teams don't really mind physicality. I think over the years we've shown that we don't. No matter who gets on our way, we're ready to punch them in the mouth and get after it and get aggressive. So I always love that from our group of guys. But like I said, at the end of the day, we have to find a way to get over this hump.
I don't know. It's a physical game, and it happens. They play physical. Starting from that point guard, he's probably the most physical guy on their team. He sets the tone for them, and we just a physical basketball team. I think it just, things happen. Both teams want to win. It happens.
I think we matched the physicality really well the last 2 games. I just think that now we got to continue to work on our execution on both ends of the floor. Obviously, ugly game, the ugliest basketball game I ever played offensively. Between 2 teams, but offense is gonna be like that. I think defensively and as far as toughness, we showed a lot, a lot of grit. So I think we got to bring that energy next game and on this road trip.
From here, the Thunder go back out on the road. Jazz on, I believe, Tuesday in Utah, and then followed by the Nuggets on Wednesday in Denver. With 2 winnable games, 2 non-playoff teams in the West. But, with this Thunder squad, I mean, nothing's an easy win these days.
No, it's not. And, in the old days, you'd go to teams like Utah and Denver and say, hey, you got to sweep those two. You're better than them. Go beat them. Now you're just hoping for a split and then come home and take your chances against the Nets and the Warriors.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That'll do it for us here. For the best Thunder coverage team anywhere, stay tuned to newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.